everyone, my name is Megan and today I am here with another writing video. Today I'm going to be talking about character creation. So you will find it very hard to distinguish between what is more important, plot or characters, because it literally depends on the story you're writing, the author who you're reading, what they feel is most important. But really the best novels have a good balance of both. But you know, you can get a lot of characters in novels sometimes. I mean, not looking at Game of Thrones or anything, but sometimes you have a hard time keeping track of characters. So today I'm going to talk about a couple tips I have for character creation and helping you remember your characters. So the first thing I did when I started creating characters is Google character creation sheets. You can find so many of those and I highly recommend them. They have some that are literally like 14 pages long. They're like little tiny dossiers you can create on your characters. I would only use these for like your main characters, like if it were Harry Potter, Harry, Ron, Hermione, because they're going to be the characters you're working with all the time. There are a lot shorter ones too. When you don't keep track of your characters, you forget minor details about the characters, like what color their hair is, especially if you're not mentioning it every single time. Because if you are mentioning it every single time, you're going to annoy your readers, because unnecessary repetition. Like every time a character is mentioned, this other fact is mentioned about them. For example, I was reading a story about an assassin, and in the first novel, every time someone asked her why she became an assassin, she would never say, she would like shrug it off, but the narrator would have to remind you she became an assassin because her father was killed. Every time. It was like a 600-page story, and she met a lot of people. So I have two major ways of keeping track of the characters. The first are the character creation sheets, and I will find one online and leave a link to it down below. And then the other way is I get index cards with just the most basic stats about all of my characters. Height, weight, eye color, if they have an accent. Basically the things that I need to know about them when I'm writing, so that when I go and actually need to refer to the whatever it is about them, whether it's something physical like their hair color or something that you can't see like their accent or a particular style of dress or a scar they have. That way I know, I don't have to try and remember where it is. I can just reference these little quick cards I create. And I do actually make one for every single character in my stories, because unless the character is literally only in one scene and once I am done with them I never need to worry about them again. Anytime I have a character that appears in 2 or more scenes, they get a little quick card with all of the necessary information, and usually I actually fill these out when I'm writing them, unless I've already created a character creation sheet for them. Another thing these character creation sheets do is they help you find the voice of your character, so that your characters all don't sound the same when they're talking in dialogue or when they're acting out their actions. And then it also helps you like think about them and how they would react to certain things. I know I've taken internet personality tests for my characters so I can get a better idea of how they would react in situations. Just thinking about them outside of the context of the story and how they would react helps me know how they would react in the story. That way not every character acts the way I would act, because there would be a lot of running and screaming from the terrible things I've made my characters face. Zombies. Like zombies. So the biggest piece of advice I really have about character creation, honestly, is just learn your character. Treat them like they're your best friend or your worst enemy. Know them as well as you would know yourself, maybe even a little bit better, because you do actually have a little bit of control over them. So when they do get into the story and the plot, you're not forcing them to take actions that they wouldn't necessarily take, because it's another thing I know that annoys people when a character does something you're like, why would you do that? There's nothing in your personality to say that you should do that. Alright, that is all for this writing video. I will see you next week with another writing video. And until next time, talk to you later.